All right, I think all the tech stuff is done and we're live.
All right, there you go. Just like that, huh?
Week 2, episode 2. Boom, we're just into it. How you doing, man?
Fantastic. It's a great weekend. We had a blast this weekend. Got a lot of crawling in. A lot of crawling. Crushed a lot of packs.
I saw like you and your son. I saw him doing some cool lines and stuff that you were teaching him on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think we hit probably, I want to say we did 2 packs each.
Okay.
Battery packs. So
that's a lot on a crawler.
It is. Yeah. We were out for a good 4 hours, taking just kind of the place that we go to down there is awesome. So what it is, it's a mountain. You can hear my dog, man. She's got some long nails. I was like, get on the carpet. I know. Get back on the carpet. Anyways. So the place that we go, it's like on a hill, on a mountain, and it's got like these awesome rocks that just pop out of nowhere. And but it's got like all these little dirt cavities and stuff that you can roll through. It's a blast. So, it's like you can just find lines for hours out there. And I probably go out there twice a year because it's a little ways from home. And we go out there and we just, every time we're there, I'm like, I go out in the morning super early before everyone wakes up. And then sometimes I come back and take the kids out for it. But yeah, it was rad, man. It was a lot of fun. And, it was kind of one of those things where the second day I was going to go out by myself in the morning and it was like 23 degrees out and sunny. And I was like, nope, I'm going to stay in bed. So.
Right. Well, we have snow here. So
yeah,
the only crawling we did this past week was we went up to the Thursday night mini comp that they do.
Yeah.
At Reaction RC Hobbies. So the boys and I went up and we got there about 7-ish. 6:45, 7, and stayed till about 8:30 crawling. So
nice.
Over an hour and a half, but there's also you're waiting in line to, get your truck on and stuff like that. But
yeah,
they have 2 tracks, which is nice for those so you can, be waiting on one and then all your points are tabulated together. But it's nice that they break it up as 2 start points so that you can have multiple people running at the same time.
That's cool. So, and that one has a 10th scale track too, doesn't it?
They do, and we actually take up a portion of it as that's one of the sections, and then the other one is on their little table top section, which is pretty cool. So
I've been seeing go ahead.
I didn't have anything else. You said you were seeing something.
Oh no, so I've been getting super inspired by all these people. So when I first started doing my taco trail, right, there wasn't many people that were doing it in the backyards and stuff like that to that scale anyway, and I've been seeing a lot more people up in their game with that kind of
really
thing.
Up in it.
Oh man. And even like the place like yours, Reaction Hobby, all that kind of stuff, like doing the indoor stuff. It is super, it's like making me want to get back out in the yard and redo some of our stuff. And I've talked about changing up my little short course place for monster trucks, but now I'm thinking, well, maybe I can change it to some U4 and put another mountain of dirt. And there's so many things that I want to do just so we can do it. But the other caveat to that is that we don't have to stay home anymore. And I really, really like going out and finding places to crawl. The only hard thing is that it seems like you hit the same honey hole, 10 times. And then you're like, okay, now I got to find someone.
You're bored. Yeah. If you don't have lines that you have to hit, that's the one nice thing. So if I were to go up there with my mini all the time, it'd be boring. Because you just, there's a lot of spots. If you go on the 10 scale, you can go, but you take the easy way, and you take ways out. But when they put the gates up and you got to do gate to gate, it's really cool. So we should mention what we're going to be doing here today. We're going to be talking about the first thing that we're going to do here on the Talk Your Face Off, which is the build.
Yes,
we're going to compete a little bit.
Why not?
So we're going to do the Enduro24 by Element RC.
Yep.
We're going to try and make some kind of drag truck just to be different. It's definitely the best truck, I think, to do a drag mini out of because it doesn't have worm gears.
Right. Right. And that's I think the big selling point for that. And one of the things that I wanted to like on the post that I did today, I was like 24th scale doesn't mean 24th scale speed. Like we
Right.
want to see what, like we talked about this offline, and it's like, and maybe this is something for the comments to see, like set some benchmarks. Maybe people have
Yep.
a little bit more ideas of how fast these things can actually go. I almost think, it's like, do these little things have like a terminal velocity, right?
I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm going to be impressed if I can get 20 miles an hour. Like that
That's
to me
exactly what
seems
I
like
said.
that should be a goal. Is can we hit 20 miles per hour with a little mini truck?
That's
I'm
really
not sure.
fast for that little car.
With
Yeah.
those tiny tires. I mean, and so we're going to set down some rules here. Like I think we need to keep 1-inch wheels.
Yeah.
Because that would be like one thing, like as a cheat, is you get more wheel speed if you put bigger tires on.
Right.
You cover more ground with them. So we'll have to kind of go through some of that. That doesn't mean you couldn't force something onto a 1-inch wheel creatively, but
Right.
foam, you make some big old foams that you put on there.
Yeah. I remember
Cut
that project when I was in high school and college, where we made the big pizza cutter wheels and see how far and how fast we can make the mousetrap car go, all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
So
that'd
we'll
be
talk about that tonight, but let's first, what kind of stuff have you been working on RC wise? Let's get some of that out of the way. Talk about what we've been doing this week. You went out crawling. Did you do any other projects?
Yeah, so we went crawling. I had to get the cars ready to go out there. So I've been planning a lot of these projects. So one of the things I did is I converted my kids' SMT10 into a 2.2 U4 truck, which technically isn't a U4 truck, but we did it anyway.
Right.
So we just put 2.2 tires on it and traditional rock crawler wheels, or I mean, rock 2.2 wheels with traditional rock crawler
It's
tires.
very close. I mean, it's built off of a Wraith, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we did that. I'm trying to think about if I want to change the power plant for this first round or not. I've been designing some stuff for my DB8, my Nomad. I really want to do a metal cage for that, and I've been designing, just hand sketching that kind of stuff, and then also working on a new monster. So this monster truck build that I'm slowly creeping into, I want to 3D print a body for it. So, which I know probably isn't the best idea for how I drive my stuff, but
hey, just like the real world, they patch you back together, man.
Yeah.
Glue, so zip ties.
Yep. Well, that's how I did the last comp. I left the hood so it just popped off whenever it wanted to. And it was kind of cool. So we'll see how this one works. But I'm also trying to make it kind of like a universal car, so I can race that in 2.2. I got some parts in, which was cool, and so I'm really excited about that. But I got some tires. So I got these tires from Boom Racing that are super sweet. I'm going to turn my light up because I feel like I'm a little red right now for some reason. But I got these. There we go. I got these tires from Boom Racing. You probably can't see them very well. Let's see. But
not when you take them off camera.
Right. I know, right? But these are, what are these called? These are just called the Hustler MTX.
Oh, those are the ones with the little writing on the sidewalls.
Yeah. So the writing on the sidewall, I'm going to post a picture tomorrow. It says, "Enjoy being a badass." And it's in like the little scale writing. And I'm like, yes, that's what cool. I'm talking about. So I got these for a future car that I'm going to get. Oh, maybe you can listen to that. Oh yeah, that's like some massive grip right there. So anyways, I got these for a different U4 build that I'm going to do based off of the Pro 4. So I'm going to call it the U4 Pro 4. And the class that goes in requires a 4.5 inch tall tire. And these are 4.45s, and they're like massively tready. So I got those and got some 2.2s of the same ones, but then my Reef stuff came. And I'm super excited for what I got from Reefs. It's nothing like new, but it's something that's massive for the Nova wagon.
Anytime you get something from Reefs, it's good.
I know, right? So I'm excited for this because my Frankenwagon that people have seen before.
777.
Oh yeah, this thing is like beefcake, right? So I'm putting this in my Frankenwagon because that thing's so heavy. So I'll have the 777 and the IS 800 in there, and this will be running off a 3S.
Nice.
So it's going to be
and have all the torque.
Oh, dude, it's going to have quite the power. And I tried something different. So talking to Reef actually about it, I was going to go with the Raw 500 for my DB8, and he's like, no, you got to try the 400 SE. So
For speed.
Yep. So I was like, there you go. So I got those in. And then some bling, man. These things are cool. So I've never used these before. I always cheap out on it, but I'm going to use it this time. But they're the little servo washers.
Okay. Yeah, they go on the sides, the 4.
Yeah. So I got anodized red ones because my theme is red, white, and blue for the race cars. So
yep. Cool.
I'll just do that. But yeah, man, I'm pumped for that. And I'm pumped, to start making stuff again. I feel like I got a laundry list of things to make, but it's going to happen. Working on some stuff for Scale Metal Supplies too. So some new design stuff. So keep your eyes peeled. Should be fun.
Nice. I've been working with the mini monster trucks again. So Southwest Monster Shop sent me his prototype for the rocket motor mount. So you can
nice.
in here, which is what we've been waiting for. Like, these motors are so much power, like 7,500 kV, 9,500 kV, lots of speed. No way to get them to fit inside these chassis because everything that has been made has been like side motor mounts, which hits the chassis. So this is finally a vertical one. And I think Gammy RC has one as well that he uses for one of his trucks. It's not listed for this motor particularly, but it's the same size. And I kind of think that the Komodo, the micro Komodo one, is the exact same size too. The motors are the same size. I measured the outsides of the cans.
Oh, interesting.
I think that is coming out too. And it's like $20 to get it. It's still a little offset to the side, but I think it'll still tuck it inside of everything. So
nice.
It looks like it could be an option as well going forward. I'm going to test it. I may test it in this upcoming. Maybe where I get my speed from.
Right. Now, that's a good question. Where we're going to get the speed from.
Yep. So we'll go through rules there. The only other thing, I haven't shown you this. I posted pictures and videos, but I've been working on this. Had to make it out of clay, and then I ran the tire trucks over it, hoping to get, since it's plastic, a little bit of texture and grip on it.
Dude, I love that. I love that there's tread marks in there. I think awesome.
So I put them in and it vacuum formed. I was also worried. I mean, I have an inch on each side, and then I have about a half inch on the sides for the air to suck down around it. And I was like, this ain't gonna work, but we're gonna try it, because otherwise, I mean, even still, I mean, it's barely wide enough for the truck to hit. Which is fine. I've been hitting it and doing backflips, so I've been doing a lot off it. For freestyle, it's perfect.
Right.
For racing, it might be much. If I was racing with them, I'd probably cut this really tight and do 2 of them side by side.
Oh, there you go.
But
so are those going up on your website?
They will be. Nice. They didn't yet because, I mean, we had Valentine's this week, and we don't ever do anything for it. But my boys, out of the blue, went upstairs and took one of our little round like tables that's used for like a side table next to the couch, and they pulled it out and they got 2 chairs and they set it by our sliding glass window that overlooks the river.
Nice.
And there's all this snowfall. I mean, it was like a snow globe yesterday. It was awesome. And then they were like, hey, we need to go get some food to make you guys for dinner. So my son wanted to make ravioli. And so we had, and he's like 13, 12. And so almost 13. And so we ended up having to go out and go to the store. It's just been busy. Like, life is going on. And I've been doing homeschool with them this week because the in-laws are out of town. So I've been having to watch them as I do homeschool, as I'm also working and then trying to do YouTube.
Right.
So, which, speaking of, there's a ton of people coming in here. Hi guys, we see your comments. And Bull Gear said that he has a Enduro24, and we're going to open this up to everybody. Like, it's going to be different. We're going to be competing against each other, but we want to see who can get like a top speed. But we're going to make some rules that we all have to follow if we want to see really who can get the top speed. Because it really is just kind of pushing the envelope of these things and see what we can do.
We should do it. Crazy. We should do it like Top Gear, where you put the put the celebrity in the car and see how fast they can go. And we just keep a running list on who has the top speed, and then we can take them off, like so-and-so gets up to the top now. And so, but yes, it'll be interesting to see how that happens and what people come up with, what we come up with. I've been, sitting there thinking about this. And like I said, I'm not an engineer, but I know enough to get myself in trouble. And I'm sitting there thinking about all this, and I'm like, there's a serious weight to power ratio issue here on a 24 scale.
Yes, there is.
And there's a serious centrifugal force issue with the wheels. I mean, there's a lot that's going against us. But yeah, I definitely want to try to get this up to, shoot, if we could hit 20, that's super quick for these. I'll have to take a pic. Tomorrow, I'll do a quick reel or something, or a story of the hallway at my shop. So I'm in one of those industrial park buildings.
Yeah.
And so there's one side of the building that has all their shops, and the other side has all their shops. And there's like a community hallway with a perfectly level, smooth concrete floor. Right. And it's like 4 feet wide, maybe a little bit wider. Well, it's probably 6 feet wide. And so I'm going to have to do my speed runs at like midnight on a weekend, and then just set up a bunch of lighting and let it rip down that hallway and see how fast I can go. Cause that's a long ways, but it also depends on how much distance we have. We were talking about distance, and I was like,
we need some rules. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking we'd probably need the equal amount of distance to slow these things down. Right. Like, cause there's not enough weight for them to really stick to the ground once they get going. So,
yeah. I don't know, unless the diffs don't really, freewheel very easily. So yeah, I don't know what the drag is like on them and how you can set it and all that.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. So you guys are going to be allowed to be a part of this. We just want to have fun with this and see what we can do. So we need to figure out, and we'll be watching the comments too. You guys interject some ideas if you have some, as we're thinking and talking about this, and we'll try to watch them. You can see them, right, Pablo? The comments?
Yep. Okay. Yep. I don't know what's top and bottom. Let's see here. Nope, I can see them now.
So first things we have to figure out is, what do we have to use out of the stock car? I think I'm planning on doing the Toyota instead of the truck. Okay. If I can find one. I just like that body, but
yeah,
I don't think we have to keep the body, but I'll want that for something else later. I don't really care for the other speckled ones, but I might use the Toyota for something.
Right. Well, I think you can get the clear bodies too on the Associate or the Element.
I think I can know where I can get some clear bodies from.
Yay. Yeah.
We'll make a bullet body.
There you go.
Like an alien, sleek, just egg shaped.
It'll look like the big bullet from Mario Brothers.
Yeah, like a missile with a little fin on the back, on the top, and on the maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll make missile bodies.
Ooh, there you go. It'd be like the Bonneville Salt Flats. I forgot what the name of that rig was that went 300 miles an hour. The first one. That'd be cool.
So I think we have to keep stock axles, right? For the most part, because what else do we keep that's stock?
Well, I would say stock rear axle.
Okay.
I don't think front
axle. I think
axle
we can modify the front axle. Oh, you thinking independent or something?
No, well, the thing is that we want not to get all nerdy, we want the lowest coefficient of friction on the front end, right? We don't want a lot of things slowing us down.
So you're going to gut it?
Maybe. Well, I'm thinking dragster, so I like gasser hot rods. So I'm thinking about making maybe like a gasser hot rod with the straight beam axle on the front. I don't know. I don't know yet. I have all these ideas.
Like a toy one where it's just a single metal piece with the wheels stuck on it, just free.
Well, kind of, but it would still have spindles on it. So
you'd have to dog bone it.
Yeah, okay. But I don't know. That's what this is about. Like, I don't know what
I said. Okay, that's good. I've already bought. So I was planning on using the stock axles. Ish. I ordered the ECB 3D printing.
The servo
on axle steering mount for it, because I think that's going to be something I want to hold it together.
Yeah.
Just gonna put some 3D. If I crash though, I'm probably going a front axle, but
that's the thing, that's the thing that I'm starting to get worried about is
I'm gonna write on
okay
notes here.
that's the thing I'm starting to get worried about, is that I think these things are just going to detonate, right? Like that's a lot of mass. Here, I can write it. I got my iPad.
All right,
here.
I've got. I don't know what I'm thinking about. I have Notepad up right here. I'm an idiot. I'm sitting at a computer.
Oh,
Apple Notepad. Apple
okay.
Notepad.
I thought you were talking about the old
So,
school
I
Windows.
think we have to keep stock chassis. I think we should use the rails. I think we should force ourselves to keep a few things.
We could. How about, let's just say we have to use the rails at least 2 sets.
Okay.
Or, like side A, side
You
B.
could build off them.
Right. Yeah, let's say we could build off
them,
of
but
them.
they have to stay in there somehow.
Right.
You can, I guess, cut them or whatever, but there has to be what is it, Enduro24 drag. It does not have to be 4-wheel drive.
No.
So we'll say must have part of.
I just put stock rails.
Chassis.
Stock rails.
Rails.
Stock rear axle.
Yep.
Or let's say, just because I don't know what we're going to run into. Excuse me. Whoa.
I think they're the fastest axles too.
What's that?
I think they're the faster of the axles too.
I think so too. But like what I think of the stock axle, I mean, I think we're probably going to run into something where we might have to modify the stock axle at some point. So let's just
extend it or whatever.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of options for them that I've seen yet.
There's not. And that's the thing. And that's why I'm wondering, like, if we're putting enough torque on this thing, we might have to wrap the axle with a piece of metal or something so it doesn't.
Oh, yeah. You can do all that. You can modify it.
Okay.
But I think you need to keep elements of it there. Like, I think we need to keep the diff and the drive line of that rear.
Right. No, I'm down for that.
Okay.
What about, here's the thing that I was wondering about. What about the divorce transfer case? Because it's not going to be 4-wheel drive. If we take that out and we can go direct drive-ish.
Sure. I don't mind. However you want it.
Well, that'll get us.
I was planning on actually switching it out for a different transmission that's still, because I'm still thinking I'm going for 4-wheel drive with this thing, but I'm not sure.
4-wheel drive would be nice. I just don't think it'll be beneficial. Not that small.
Yeah.
Not that small because you don't have enough weight.
I'm thinking ease of build for myself.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yeah.
You're like, I'm going to put the felony driveline in this, and it's just going to be a driveline on wheels. So,
right. I'm just going to stick the whole thing inside of my felony and drive it down the course.
There you go.
So, yeah.
So let's say, I guess transmission is open then?
I think transmission's open.
Okay. What about motor size?
Why would we limit that? I think at some point it's going to be a problem if you go too big.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I kind of want to keep it also the essence of what it is, right? So like if we put an 8 scale buggy on it, I don't know if you're like, motor can on there, something huge. I don't know if you're familiar with like
the weight of the truck.
I know, right? What was the name of the green monster Arfons that had the big Allison turbine motor on the tractor pull truck? Remember that? That's basically what it'll turn into if we do something like that.
But I don't think that helps you. I think it'll blow up the axle. So
yeah,
I don't know that a motor limit is necessary.
Okay.
Because you're just going to overdrive it at some point.
Sure. What about 3S? Cap it at 3S then?
Cap it at 3S. Yep.
Okay. So 3S.
How's it going, Tony? Just joined in. And Monster Jam Fans Europe, thank you.
Oh, thanks a lot, bud.
For the support.
Yes.
9.99 euros. I don't even know how to I'm going to have to do the math on that. Currency. converter. Haven't had to do that in a couple of years since travel has been. I used to have to do receipts when I'd travel internationally. It was the worst.
Oh,
I lost money every trip I went on.
Yeah,
because of the conversions. All right, so we've got that transmission.
What about
wheels? Have to be 1 inch.
Yeah.
All right,
Sure.
so 1 inch wheels.
Do we want to?
I don't know. Do you go brass with them? I know it's weight that doesn't help with speed, but it'll keep it down. I'm curious what I'm gonna do. I might try a couple of things there.
Yeah. Why don't we say a 2-inch tire height?
Okay.
Because
2-inch
that's
tire height. That'll keep people from going crazy with foam.
Yep. And I really want to do a smoke show with this. That's my whole goal. If I can do a smoke show with a 24 scale and make it look legit, that's all I want.
Okay.
I mean, I think that'll sell it right there all day. So we'll see how I can do that, though. It'd be nice to see if we could actually find drag tires that are like supple rubber that are that tall with a 1-inch diameter.
Yeah. Why don't we say 1-inch wheel max?
Okay.
It could be a smaller if you found a way to, if you found something that.
Oh, I think you have something in your mind already. You're like,
I don't actually. I just knew you're talking about it. And there might be something squatted and.
Yeah.
Just say 1-inch wheel max.
Okay. Awesome.
So the length, I think we still need a good length in order to get the speed. Like, I don't know that you need to make it the whole way. I think it's just that your speed has to be hit within it. Like, you have to let off once you hit 132 feet. So you have to be, because I think we're going to need to slowly ramp these things up.
Oh, totally. Yeah. There's no way we're doing
just going to go nuts. So I think we still need that 132 feet that they do for the 10 scale as a like a boundary, like limit, like no further than
132 feet. I bet you. Yeah.
I might do it in less than that, but
I would say 60 feet. 60 feet's a long ways for this little car.
60-foot max.
Yeah. That also means that there's not going to be a, you have
to be able to see it too, right?
Right. Exactly.
Invisible after about 30.
If we build basically a big Hot Wheels ramp down the side of a, what's it called? Down the side of a house or something like that. And then we're doing 60 feet straight down, hitting the terminal.
Yeah. It's got to be a flat.
Yep.
Flat surface.
Yep. I agree.
No hills.
Yes.
No throwing the vehicles.
Hey.
I've already heard you talking about chucking it. I think throwing them for speed.
I think I could definitely get it pretty fast if I crow hop
it. Pretty good.
Yeah. I'll just heat it up and mold it into like a ball size.
Yeah. Just stick the trans.
Put a 3S battery on the top.
Yep. So it'll explode when it hits.
Yeah. Are we going to do any bonus points? Like for looks, aesthetics, all that kind of thing?
I don't know. That's hard to judge. Sand down tires for slicks. There you go.
I already had that idea. I wasn't going to share it because I was going to keep it to myself.
Jeff just helped me out. I know I'm going to be getting some of his sauce for mine. That's for sure.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to sauce down my tires. Yep. Only one motor. Yes, CCxRC and Gaming. Good suggestion.
Yeah.
Only one motor.
There you go.
Single motor.
There you go.
That something just fell. All right, single motor. But it doesn't have to be to a transmission like we were talking about. You're going to do something else with yours, like you said, potentially more of a direct drive.
Not from the motor. I mean, the thing is for me is that the Element has a
transfer case, and
that's what I was talking about. Yeah, the divorce transfer case.
I'm looking at doing like a
straight off the transmission,
a Fear Tech.
Yeah.
They came out with the one for the Enduro and the
Yep.
Atlas. So
The Atlas. Yep. I know, right? That's the one I
yeah.
was looking at too. Something all metal.
How many axles is it allowed to have?
As many as you
Oh,
want.
length. We should do a length. How long can they be? What is the stock length of an Enduro 24? Can we stretch them?
I say yes. We have to stretch up. So I would think, let's think of what, I don't know what the wheelbase is of a top fuel dragster.
Oh, so
But
you're going to do like 4 chassis rails and stretch it. I see what you're thinking.
well, I'm not thinking that hardcore, but I'm just saying that if people wanted to go all crazy with it and do a scale like top fuel dragster, that's not my plan.
Let's say 12 inches
Okay.
is the longest it can be.
For a wheelbase or the longest overall?
For, that'd be, you thinking wheelie bar?
Yeah.
No, I'd say wheelbase.
Okay. I'm down for that. Yeah, because
I hadn't even thought of all this stuff. I was just thinking we were gonna like try and make it fast looking like it is, but you're all like Mr. Crazy here with the
so I'm thinking I'm going, and I'll just let my cat out of the bag so people can, watch the progression of this. My initial thoughts are I'm going to 3D print a body. I know it's going to be heavy, but I'm going to do a Frankenwagon body funny car so that I can get the tires on the inside of the body and rake it out so that it looks like a funny car and keep the weight down, like keep the weight planted down a little bit.
Yep.
But then that way I have the whole cab of a station wagon to put whatever I need to do, battery or motor. Or I have a couple motors that I'm eyeballing, but I don't know exactly how they're going to work or if I can get my hands on them without buying the full car. You know what I mean?
I think Jeff's right. You've already got one done. You're setting me up here.
This is going to turn into like a Pinewood Derby
I
thing.
was keeping mine pretty enduro like, so I think that I will see if I can beat you with mine a little bit more stock-ish. I'm gonna like change the transmissions and the motors and potentially 2-wheel drive it. Maybe find some way to extend the wheels out a little bit, get it a little bit more width.
Yeah.
Weight down the front maybe a little bit, change out shocks and lower it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna look for ways to drop it and see if I can beat you with your crazy skills.
We'll see. I have these grand ideas, but you know how it is. It always comes down to time, right? So that's another thing. Time length of this
time
project.
length. I think we give it like 4 weeks.
4 weeks. Okay.
Oh, because I know we've all got different things going on in life, and it's one thing like, so I've got to keep doing all my other YouTube stuff. I've got to, so it's just one small thing that I'll be sticking in as well.
Yep.
I think we do 4 weeks. Yeah.
He says vacuum for the chassis.
I'm already thinking of bodies and stuff I can do.
Yep.
Need 4-wheel drive for stability. That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna keep mine 4-wheel drive. It can be 2. I saw a Black Market was asking that. It can be 2 or 4.
Yeah. I like who said it. Where'd it go? Jeff Brown said not 4-wheel drive. Someone said dualies in here.
Nate, can you do dualies?
Yeah, I like that idea because
you could do dualies.
Yeah, I like that idea. So Nate, great idea. Nate 45345. Yes. I like the idea of dualies. I hadn't thought about that.
Dualies. I hadn't either.
But that makes a lot
great
of sense.
Suggestion. But again, it's all trickier. The reason people are saying, so what's left of the Enduro 24? Not much.
No. Well, no. that goes the same.
But
that's
it's
what
about
drag
the
racing.
Axles. Yeah. The axles are what we really had to have, and worm gears just won't work. I'm finding that with the monster trucks. After driving the other one that I have, in fact, I just picked up a Devastator by HBX.
I saw that.
So I'm going to be messing with that some.
Is that the same thing that Red Cat used to have? They used to have. Okay.
Yes.
Because I was looking for that one for a while, and I was like,
Sumo.
Sumo. That's what it was.
Sumo. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm curious if the DR28 tires work. They're smaller. That's why he left that out. Like, if we could find a way to mount them, they are smaller than 1 inch, but
I don't think they're hex driven. I'm not sure.
no. But I wonder if they're just the pin.
I think so, but
which could still potentially work. I don't know. The drive shaft coming out is pretty big. It might be. It would take some mods probably, but we'll see. We'll leave it open.
Right.
Somebody was saying look at slot car stuff.
Yep.
Eric from ECB was saying to look at some slot cars.
That's actually funny that he said that, because I don't know if I showed you this before, but I have 2 slot car bodies. This one was like a
grave digger.
That's like a grandma digger. Yeah. Old school. Yeah. And then the Willies.
Oh, I like that.
And this one, the problem is they're just a little too short wheelbase. So they're great, but like on the SCX24, they're too short. So, but they look cool. But you could probably get a funny car body that would work if they had one. So
Bull Gear saying here, we were going for top speed. Yes. Within 60 feet. The person that can get it the fastest in 60 feet. So we'll have to put like little markers down so we can see that they're letting off.
What's the speed tracking thing that you were talking about that works? You put
I use
CCxRC or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one I use because it does the drag distance and all that for it. They can set in the app, and it's just a little square puck that you put in.
Okay.
I'll find out what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get one of those. That way.
Yeah, small tires are gonna run us out of gear. That's why we're probably gonna want to max it out.
Yep.
Chainsaw says Red Cat Sumo is not the same as the Devastator.
Gotcha.
Good to know. They're very close. The GNSS is what it's called.
Okay.
Jeff says yes. That's it.
Same vehicles that have 3-to-1 gear ratio.
Yeah, I think that. The RGT.
I thought it was very similar.
They are basically a rebrand of the RGT. I don't know about the Barrage.
Yeah, I thought the Barrage was different.
So it would have to be the RGT style.
Yeah, because I thought the Barrage doesn't have the divorce transfer case.
Right, but we're ditching that anyway.
Right.
But it's more about the axle. It's a 3-to-1 gear ratio.
Right.
Which is way better, first of all, than whenever the CX24s are running.
I have a feeling
my little PureTech monster truck gets moving.
Yeah, I have a feeling we might melt an axle. I really do. Like, I mean, that's going to be quite the revolutions going into that, like going directly in. That's a lot.
Are they plastic diffs, in them?
I don't know. I've never taken one apart, but we're going to find out.
Destroying some gearing.
Yeah. I wouldn't imagine. I would imagine they're pot metal. Like,
yeah, which is not much better than plastic.
Right.
Jeff, you got to get in a Toyota Enduro24.
Who's saying that?
Jeff owns Reaction RC Hobbies, where we go crawling.
Nice.
Bull Gear. Who's another one? Scott Quick. This is Pablo from RC Amigos, and he's going to be here every Tuesday with us for Talk Your Face Off. And we're going to be doing stuff like competitions and chatting about whatever RC related stuff, just to change up the Tuesday night from the conspiracies, because that was tough to do when there wasn't any content to talk about because of it. So, but we also want to do this in a way that we can interact with other people. And get, they are plastic ears, says Bull Gear. All right, this could be interesting. So what is the fastest? Let's start taking bets right now. What do you guys think is the fastest that we can get? Because this is going to live. We can go back and look at some of this. I'm curious if anybody will nail what the fastest speed we'll be able to get an Enduro24 going is.
I did, when I was in college, I did jewelry metalsmithing. And I did lost wax casting. I wonder if I could cast those gears out of something harder than plastic. That'd be a lot of work.
It would. 27 miles an hour, says Tony.
Oof.
That's 30 plus.
That
Jeff,
seems
wow. Okay.
That seems dangerously fast.
You're gonna have to help me, Jeff.
That seems dangerously fast. Like, I mean, imagine.
12.2. That's where I'm thinking, Travis. I'm feeling that. The 12.2. Yeah. I'm guessing more in the. Jason says 30 plus.
That seems fast. I mean, what is like a?
Okay, the other thing that we have to set is a width restriction, because I watch all these people with their drag cars, and they've got a GNSS in it, and it tells them how fast they did their, whatever their run is. Right. But they're like all over the place. Yeah. Like they're not it would not be a completed drag run. It's like here, and then it went that way.
Yeah.
The amount.
Well, like I said, my lane is 6 feet max is what my lane is. So I think that's probably
that might be too narrow. I say we'd say 10 feet. If you're going to limit yourself to 6.
I got to go big and go home. And you know what sucks about mine? Mine has these coffer door openings that are like,
they stick out.
They don't stick out, but they're recessed into the wall. So if I go the wrong way, it's like
into one straight in. Straight to box.
What's going to be funny is the person's going to be sitting in the office and it's just drywall, and all of a sudden they're going to have this little tiny RC car flying through the drywall. And like, what is this? It's going to be rad.
So Nate says, I know they're different, but I think people used to get their low C micro T's, the micro T's, over 30 or 40. Is that different than a mini T? I wasn't around for micro T's.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling bold here. He's going to say 17 miles per hour because of controllability. Yeah. Now, if you lengthen yours to that foot maximum, that might help you out. If you find a way to extend the width of it, that could help you out a little bit. But I still, I don't know. I think that with the limitations of parts for this, for upgrades, I think we're going to, 136 scale, and they were going over 30 miles an hour.
Wow. I got to see that tonight.
I'm going to be searching the YouTubes.
I know.
And it can be 3S. Yes, Casey. Oh, it is 3S.
Yeah.
Well, it's,
I just don't see the disc holding up.
Like 22 to 25. That's my guess. Because I know when I thought my SMT was going decent, it was only going like 22 when I finally clocked it, like for my monster truck.
I remember seeing that video with the Gravedigger, right? You were like,
well, it's a Max D.
Okay.
On 2.2s. And then we geared it up and we got it to more than that, like 28 or something. But it was quick off. I always did good with it when it was actually slower. Yeah. But I'm thinking it would be in that 22 range. And rules. You can't crash on the speed run. You can't end up on your lit. You have to be able to control it.
Ooh.
Do you think it's got to be on 4 wheels to finish, or do you think it can slide out on its lid?
I don't think sliding out's going to be good for anything. So I don't think it's going to be taken away from it. I mean, if anything, you're going slower.
Just more about being under control.
Yeah.
You have to make it 60 feet. I think you do. You have to cross the finish line like you would in a drag race.
Well, see, that's so that's where I was talking about. So I think end to end is good for 60 feet, but you have to stop by 60 feet. So like, for instance, like, I think you're going to,
so you have to do it within that. That's even better. Okay. So within 60 feet, you have to hit whatever the speed is. So that's going to even make it harder to do 30 miles an hour.
Right. I think so, because otherwise it's like.
So you have to stop inside of that box of the 10 foot by 60 foot.
I mean, don't you think I feel like 60 feet's a long ways. My shop is like 45 feet deep.
Okay.
And that's like I mean, it would go fast at 30 miles an hour. I mean, real fast. But that's another 20 feet on top of that. I don't know, man. The problem is once you get 60 feet away with something that small, decent. Yes.
Just send it. Just attach a rocket to it. Put an
There you go.
EDF fan or something on it. All right, no extra propulsion can be added
Oh, see, now we're
because Jeremy just ruined it.
I know.
Now it made me think about it.
I brought that up in the last one when we talked about doing the aftershock semi truck with the rockets on it.
Yeah.
Curses. All right, back to the drawing board.
That would make it hard to stop in 60 feet though, because it keep pushing.
It would. That'd be pretty sweet.
That was funny though. That was great.
That would be fast.
And yes, 50K. What happened? Nice. Yes, 50K happened. And it happened about 2 weeks faster than I expected it to, because Kevin Talbot gave a big shout out in his on his secondary channel after I sent him a package of stuff. So yes, so now I'm behind the 8 ball on what I was going to do for 50K because I thought I had time to plan it out, and I don't. Thanks, Kevin. No, just kidding. What happened? Yeah, it happened fast after he said it. The jump was like over 300 subs overnight, pretty much.
That's crazy.
When you get about 800 a month, that almost, I mean, there's a big hit, a big jump, and it's gone even more than that since I looked. So yeah, pretty crazy.
I think that's awesome, man. Not to derail the conversation, but I think that's awesome. And I mean, people don't realize how much work it takes to do this kind of stuff. Like I'm nowhere near at that, like at the level of production that you are producing videos and all that out. And it's a ton to do, you know. It's like you're always, and just the mental part of it where you're always feeling like you're behind on something, or you know, like right now I feel like I've been taking videos so I can start posting more to YouTube, and it's like I feel like I'm like 6 videos deep on footage and I haven't even started editing yet. And you get to that point and then you're like, well, now we're on to something new. You know what I mean? And it's like, golly, you got so much.
Yeah, if I don't shoot and edit something the same day, the chances of it, I've said this before, ever getting done drop by 50% overnight. Like it's hard to come back because then you've done something else that you've shot and you're excited about it, so you want to edit that. Then the next day you do something.
Yeah.
And so the thing that you've done, and then to go back is like, I don't really feel like doing it. Like,
yeah. See, when I started growing my Instagram account, I was like, when I was really growing, I had a system down where it's like I would go on, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, slam out all my footage and then edit it Sunday night and then just edit every day. So I had something to post that next day, kind of a thing, and then do it all again Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And now that I'm like so deep into it, it's like I video everything all the time. And it's like, how do I have so much crap?
Right. So Casey is asking best time 60 feet. No, it's the fastest speed within 60 feet.
Well, here's
stopping within that, right?
Yeah. Here's the other thing I'm thinking, the logistics of having a perfectly smooth. I mean, these things are going to be catching air off the smallest of pebbles. If you see the 10 scale dragsters hit a pebble going that fast, these things hitting a crack are going to get
so to find a smooth surface that's 60 feet or longer
is going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. So yeah, and clearing it if it isn't, like,
right.
Yeah. So I agree. 60 feet, you got to do it within, because they're tiny and we're not going to be able to see them on camera if we go any further than that.
Right.
So you got to get up and you got to stop it before whatever line you draw at the end.
You ever see those zip line cameras?
It has to be a continuous shot.
Yeah.
Right. Because you want to see from zeroed out that you hit the speed.
You could
do it multiple times and then just pull it out and look at what the fastest time was.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to clock each one until you think you got a good one.
That camera you got, that go-to camera, that little one, you know, it'd be a cool shot as if you had I don't know if that little speedo thing you got has a readout on the thing or if it's just on your phone, but if you had one that has the readout and you could have the camera on the readout as you're going and you see the numbers crawling up, that'd be rad. That would be a cool shot. I guess you could do that with a GoPro was consistent enough, right? Because my GoPro has that GPS thing where it's like
Right.
it'll tell you how
You
fast
say
you're
the
going.
speed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the weight of it and the awkwardness of it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Bowling alley is 60 feet.
See, that seems like
But
a long run for a little RC car
I
like
don't
that.
think we'll get over 30 and stop in that though.
No.
So that'll definitely limit the potential max.
Yeah.
But
Kale,
that's all right. We're trying to. I mean, we're setting rules, and within those rules, we're seeing what we can get and
yeah.
who can do it. I mean, it'd be great to see what somebody could get as a top speed. No, like, but I'd be curious.
Right.
But like, I think for the sake of the competition, we keep it to like who can do it the fastest in that short distance.
Well, and
Parameters.
if you're getting over 30 miles an hour, odds are you're going to crash once, and you might get it that one time at 30 miles an hour, because
Right.
a little car like that crashing going that fast, there's not going to be a whole lot left, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like the motorcycle test where it's like you got to get up to 30 miles an hour, and then when you hit this line, you have to stop before that line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parachutes. Yeah. Parachutes are fine.
Yeah,
you want to figure out a way to do it, that'd be super, super awesome.
That'd be cool.
Some other source other than gear-driven stopping source. I don't see why not. Can't throw like a pillow down or something to block the end. Like grab it with your hand right before.
Have it on one of those
it's rigged inside of the car. Oh yeah, yeah. No, no rope that it's towing the whole way to be full speed and just stop dead at the end.
The motor comes ripping out. The car keeps on going.
No bungee cords attached to it to pull you back.
That'd be funny.
That would be pretty funny. Yeah, gymnasium would be a perfect.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect. Carpeted gymnasium would be maybe even better.
Or I'm gonna have to
starting and stopping.
Go to some hotel. Get a night at a hotel.
Yeah, hotel hallway would be pretty wicked. I was joking with Ryan Anderson about doing these things. They should do drag races with these little mini trucks in the hallways while they're doing their Monster Jam stuff.
That'd be
stop at the wall. Yeah, 60 feet, bam. I stopped within 60. Those kind of external forces do not count.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd have to stop right before the wall.
Yeah. That's
oh, I like this. Race must be done in a Walmart aisle during business hours. No advance notice.
Oh man, did you
that would be wicked, man.
Did you ever see the YouTube channel Fortness? Like 2-3 years ago, they would go into places like YouTube. They're kids, right? Like probably in their late teens, 20s, college kids, and they would go into Walmarts and like Costco's and pull the stuff out from the aisles and make forts behind like the first wall of product. So so like toilet paper, they would do toilet paper at Costco and like move it all out. So it'd be this open like area that they would sit in and camp in and stay in there at night. And all you would see is this wall of toilet paper. You wouldn't see people behind it.
That's funny.
It was a lot of fun. That would
so let's go over what we have here. See if anybody has any other questions that we may have that we should answer as far as rules. First of all, to limit this guy here, I know he's got so many things up his sleeve that are going to really get me, but I have a cricket cutter, so I can, make mine look cool. Gyro, I don't see why not. If you can figure out how to make a gyro work in it, go for it.
I think those things are so
limiting.
Small.
It's so limiting. Yeah, it'll probably twitch you out.
Well, to be honest, I think these cars are so small that I feel like keeping it simple is going to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like over engineering, this is just asking for, I mean, the gains are going to be so minimal of over engineering something like this. I think keeping it simple is the way to go.
What is the width on one of these things?
Kale then says, you just called 20-year-olds kids. You were born in the 90s. Nope. I was born or 1900s. Yeah. I was like 90s. I'm like, I'm older than that. So
I think we should do a width limit because I can see somebody, even if you can't limit the rear, I can see somebody spacing the front out and just doing some kind of servo and having it be like a foot wide to keep it from rocking over.
Oh, like outrunners or outriggers. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, but even just the front wheels, like, right. They get their rears and then their fronts are like super wide because you don't have to run the axle.
Let's broaden this even more, and let's say that it has to have the aesthetic of some kind of dragster, like some kind of drag car.
Okay.
Right? Because
or something.
Yeah. Because if people are making like I said, like the high school experiment where it's like the big, I mean, obviously we have the real restrictions, but something crazy, it's like, it doesn't look like what we want. We want a car this small to go that fast.
Yeah. So Bulgia, we're looking at they sell them on Amazon, but it's the CCxRC GNSS speedometer. It's basically a phone app with a little square. They're really awesome. I thought it was gonna be a pain, but they're so cool for getting speed runs, and you can actually do drag pulls with it because it'll get you your distance for going 132 feet or whatever distance I think you set. It'll map your top speed and how long it took you to go that distance of what a drag run would be. So it'll give you your ticket at the end of the race.
Maybe we should do a combined speed where it's the fastest car to get to 60 feet, and then we have to hold on to that chip and run back 60 feet. And whoever can do the running back fastest, also you add that to your score time. So we physically have to run with the chip in our hand to show how fast we're going.
I don't run anymore.
No?
I don't write papers and I don't run anymore.
Yeah, me either. Well, I just thought it'd be worth a try.
But that's something we could do is like, if you didn't want it to boil down to one run, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
But you could do like top 3 runs and add
Bonneville, that's kind of how Bonneville does, right? I have to look back up how they did it, but it was like they did down and back, I think, and then whatever your top speed was out of those 2 is what your overall is. I think that's how Bonneville does it. I don't remember.
So Black Market is saying start looking at drag slot cars.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do that. I'll have to look at drag slot cars.
Those things are wicked fast. But they're also magnetized down. You know what I mean?
They've got that little pin too, right? So it pulls them. Yeah. So they lose power if that comes off.
Right. They get sucked down. So width wise, let's see. I'm going to measure this one up and see where we're at for width on mine just with these fat tires on
I think we can allow several inches wider, but I wouldn't want it to be like super crazy.
Yeah, mine right now, this is my 24, is at 5 inches with these big fat tires on it.
I say 8 inches wide max?
Man, that seems super wide. That seems like, 8 inches is out to here. That's almost like 2 cars. I would say 6 inches. Yeah.
6 inch wide. So that'd be, 12 inches long, 6 inches wide would still be pretty good. So 6 inches wide. All right.
Yeah, because this is 6 inches right here. And that
doesn't get you much extra. If you did dualies, you'd be over that.
Well, not if you did skinny dualies. You know what I mean? Like the Element tires themselves are pretty skinny.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy him much help though. I'd say let's just say 6 inches wide. That's fine.
Okay.
That's part of what makes it crazy, right?
The other thing about the dualies, though,
you don't want it to be a 1/10 scale car at the end.
Right. The other thing about the dualies is that you can inside offset too.
Oh, that's true.
So you could still get a lot of contact patch, but that kind of is counterintuitive to your width advancement on that. But
right. But it gets you more rubber down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so here's what I'm saying. Must have part of the stock rails. You could have more than, but you at least have to have
up to 12 inches wheelbase.
Yep, up to 12 inches. Well, that's the wheelbase. Technically, your rails could go beyond the wheelbase.
Yes.
If you wanted, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So single motor, stock rear axle, but you can add to it. You can modify. The idea of the casing being there. If you want to make 3D print parts to be able to add different link mounting positions, whatever, that's fine.
Sure.
But the basic look and idea of the rear axle, I'm going to keep mine just a stock one. But
I probably will too, unless they start melting. Then I'm
right,
gonna have to figure something else out.
single motor, 12-inch wheelbase, 6-inch width.
3S.
Transmission is open for change.
Mm-hmm.
You could stick in even a SCX24 one if you want, or whatever you find. Max is 3S lipo.
Real quick on the trans, does it have to be a 24 scale ish trans, or are we going to allow someone to throw in a DR10 transmission in it and try to outrun it from that?
I would do a 24 scale ish 18th. I wouldn't do a big one.
Yeah, let's say nothing bigger than 18th scale.
Okay, transmission.
Yeah.
Okay. 1-inch wheels max, 2-inch tire height. Now, how tall are the RC 4-wheel drive?
The slingers are 2 inches.
The mudslingers?
I think so. They're 2
Okay.
inches. Yeah.
Okay. You can do dualies. You have to complete it within 60 feet. So
Yep.
your run starting to full trigger and then stopping must be within 60 feet.
Yep.
Does it even need a transmission? If you can fab it, I don't see why not.
Right.
You can direct power it as easy, if you want. If you want to get that crazy with it. No throwing them for speed. And no hills.
Right.
Must be a flat surface.
Yep.
I think we should do a 12-foot width.
12-foot width?
12-foot width. We'd said 10. I think 12 foot. I'm 6 feet tall. If I lay down twice, even that's going to be tough to stay in.
I don't think you're going to get, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm only going a 6 foot. Like, I'm thinking I'm going to take mine to a hallway and let it rip. I mean, I maybe might get a chance to go to a gym, but yeah, I mean, I don't.
If you do, I would say you have to mark it off so you can see either with cones,
yeah,
or tape or something that makes a visual mark. That
yeah.
you just, the main thing is so people just don't go all over the place, and
yeah,
because it's going to change that 60 feet just in distance.
And the video, so the video of it has to be a continuous clip.
And the video of the run from when you clear your GPS and show it and that you're starting the drag timing or whatever.
Right.
Or just if you're just going for speed, that's all you need. You could do like the airplane one or whatever, where it's just tracking your max speed basically.
Right.
Because we're not really using that for distance measuring for a drag race or time that you make a drag race. Because that'll literally cut and stop recording speed after you hit your I think after you hit your goal of distance. So I think you just do a max speed and you can just run it, and you can run it multiple times off of that one until you but you have to show it all. You can't have a cut in it. We have to see that you did it with that car.
So C-Dubs is saying oh yeah, I guess so. So the little guy
2.5 inches. We'll just say 2.5 inches.
Okay. Yeah, because little guys are 2 1/4. And that's what C-Dubs is saying the other ones are 2.4.
Those are kind of, I probably wouldn't use those just because they're so tippy, but
yeah,
we'll let it, if people have, that's what they have, we'll allow it up to 2.5, because that's sold as a 24 scale tire.
Yeah.
So 2.5 inch. So, but the thing would be, you have to have a continuous shot from when you start the speed recording until you show it at the end.
Right.
But you could do multiple in that. Well, no, you can't. You have to restart it after each run, because if you go over the distance or out of bounds, but it was the fastest one, we wouldn't want to be able to count that. So you have to clear it and do each run as a.
That's going to be super sketchy trying to stop in 60 feet.
That was your rule, man.
I know. I
Thinking
know.
that, like,
I know it's my rule, but I think it's good because
I
I
was
think
thinking
it's
you had to go 60 feet, and yours to be like a drag run where you have to cross a finish line.
right. I mean, how far do you think it'll take these things to stop?
But then the problem is if somebody doesn't have something that's more than 60 feet,
Right.
they can still do it if we do it within 60 feet.
Right. What's the width of a basketball court? Everyone can have access to a basketball court, right? They can go to a park, that kind of a
Well, you
thing.
couldn't do that here right now. It's snowy.
Well,
So
I'm just saying, or a gym.
indoor. Yeah.
Like, because if, I'm not talking length of basketball court, width of basketball court.
How will the 60 feet be measured in the video? I think we just show the cones. It'll be kind of obvious. Like,
Yeah.
there has to be a little bit of.
I've
You're
got
going to
a,
be stopping before it anyway. Hopefully, in theory, there have to be a little bit of just integrity.
I've got a
I think
laser.
it'll be obvious if you see. You have a laser.
Yeah.
I just have one of those little walking things.
Yep.
50 by 90. So 50 width wouldn't work.
Okay.
But the length of it, you would be able to mark off.
Yeah. So
Like find a church and just do it between the pews, down the aisle in the middle, running across the runner for a wedding or something.
That would be
Hold on,
awesome.
I'm out on this wedding. I got to do a quick run through this video thing I'm doing.
And then that's when you can do the audio where they hit the car and it goes dong, and it has the priest saying the prayer after. That'd be awesome. Yes. Well, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, you could skip the trans. We're saying just single motor. If you figure out a way to direct drive that thing.
Okay, so now I'm second guessing this width, the length. What about 90 feet?
90 feet max.
Yeah, because like I'm thinking of it, 90 feet is a baseball path, right? Like from base to base is 90 feet.
Okay. 60 was pretty short.
Yeah. I don't know how fast we're going to be able to get up to that speed. Like, I want to think we would get
90 in a basketball. Like these things are going to be maxed out within the length of a basketball by half court, and then you have time to break. So I think we do 90 foot max.
Literally time to break.
Yeah, yeah. I think 90 feet is good.
Okay. All right, 90 feet. I'm sold.
Okay.
Let's do 90 feet, start to finish.
12 by 90. If you don't have 90 feet and you can do it in shorter, then good for you. But it's a maximum of 90 feet to get your speed in.
What about bumpers? So
bumper.
No. I'm talking like bumper rails, like bowling.
On the sides?
Yeah.
That's fine. I think it would hurt you anyway.
Yeah, it would slow you down for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably flip when you hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, because if I do it in that hallway, I mean, I have like 600 feet of hallway I could do it in. But if I set up bumpers, it would greatly diminish the chance of me going straight into a wall.
Yeah.
At a complete stop.
That's a lot of bumpers to set up.
I've got it. An angle. It's an aluminum angle. I'll just put it end to end to end.
Okay. Yeah. That'd keep you from going direct into a wall.
Yeah. Because those little coffers, man, I could just see this car hitting a coffer at 30 miles an hour, full pin.
Okay. So is there anything that anybody else in the chat can think of? We're going to wrap up here because I know Pablo has to go here. Is there anything that you guys can think of that we should be thinking about as a rule that we should have? Probably most of you wouldn't tell us if there was. If you're already thinking about how you're going to cheat on it. But
I don't know.
I think my main thing is I just want to drop it as low as I can.
Yeah.
Fairly stock. Shorten up the suspension if I can find some short, like the what are those little cars? The Kyoshos.
Oh yeah.
Little short shocks on there. drop that thing. The main thing is the links are so awkward on those. They're so short on the enduros.
Yeah.
That's going to be my main thing, is I'm trying to keep it stockish.
Right.
But you can change out, you can do metal, you can make your own links if you want. I might actually try stealing them off of this new Devastator I got and try and lengthen it that way.
Yeah.
Since I'm still going to come probably inward with my shocks.
Well, you could do a swing arm style too. It doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be 4-linked.
Right, that's true.
You could do a control arm or something like that. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it.
Just to keep from wrapping.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably what I would do. I would probably do some kind of control arm on it instead. Like do two drag links and then a control arm.
Yep. Up to the chassis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because then you could get it lower. I mean, like my real C10, my old truck has control arms on it, and then the shocks are mounted on top of that in between the frame rails, and then it's got one like pitman arm basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be the way to do it, I would think.
So weight limit? I don't think there's a weight limit.
No.
4 wheels only. You can do dualies.
Yeah.
But you can't do extra axles. It can't be like a 6x6.
Right.
I'm
almost wondering if putting dualies on the front would actually be, if you had enough power, if that would help you like be an F1 car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, there's going to be a point with these cars because they're so light that they're going to want to pick up. Because I know, the 1/10 cars around 50 miles an hour, they want to pick up. So,
yeah. And so some of that's going to come into even finding the right bodies in that, and putting maybe plates, kind of air dam type things, so that it doesn't come up underneath. And I don't even know how you do that with the 4-link.
That's going to be
limiting. But you can strap almost like sway bars underneath the 4-link, a front and rear one.
Oh yeah.
In fact, our Freestyle RC did that. Instead of sway bars, he did like these flat acrylic pieces.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Yeah,
square, and that keeps it from twisting.
Yeah,
but that could almost be a way for air to channel underneath instead of coming up and hitting the body. You could maybe even do it out of styrene, zip tie it to the links underneath there, and have it come up under the front with a little.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Psycho 13 Garage says, where are the rules going to be posted anywhere? You want to post them in the description of this?
Yeah, we'll post them into the description of this. I'll probably put a post on my website too that can just be like
there you go,
a link that we can send to people easily.
Sure.
That just has the rules.
We can post them on Instagram too.
And on Instagram. We'll post them multiple places just to make sure. And speaking of Instagram, I'm probably going to be posting a lot of this stuff to reels and different things, and even doing testing, because like it's all about the whole experience until we get something. Like we don't have to, we're not necessarily hiding things. It's all about the experimentation.
Yep.
And seeing how you go faster or how things work or didn't work. And
it's funny. I just felt this thing come full circle in my mind. So when I was in college, I was going to be in this welding competition that was like this found art welding competition, right? And I was in the school, the college bracket, and the pro bracket, someone bailed last minute. So they asked if I wanted to be in the pro bracket. And I was like, yeah, sure. No problem. Right. Got all pumped about it. Thought I was all hot. And then I show up to the pro bracket competition, and I walk around the corner, and there's this guy, and this is like, early 2000s. There's a guy with a laptop with his 3D model of the thing spinning around of what they're going to make out of found object sculpture stuff in the junkyard. And I'm like, where are these guys from? They're like, oh, these are the Imagineers. And I'm like, what? like I'm a
Like real
college kid.
pros. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what? But it's like, I remember doing that. So it's like, hopefully now I can be that guy with my 3D model drag car spinning around being like, hey, Tony, this is what I'm going to make. So.
I'm going to be like taped together stuff. And
I'll get you some stick glue.
I put Gorilla Tape around the links.
Oh.
And it created this airflow perfect thing.
And then you'll probably end up winning anyway. Because
that's what's funny about it. And we're just going to rag on each other the whole time. And it's good. It's all in good just to see what we can do and show people what they can do with the hobby. And that's what we've been doing with these micro monster trucks or mini monster trucks, whatever you want to call them too. It's not me, it's other people who have taken them and really created all the things that allow that to happen, to make a monster truck out of an SCX24 or whatever.
Right.
And but yeah, it can be an RGT or an Enduro. It's the same truck, 24 scale starting point.
Yep.
So if you do the Enduro, it has to be their 24 scale truck. It's pretty much the exact same components. So I'll be picking mine up, I think. Sounds like Jeff said he got one at the shop in.
Nice.
But I don't know if it's I would like to have
the Forerunner,
but if I can't, I'm probably gonna do my own body anyway. So
yeah.
That's half the fun of having some of this stuff and making that part of the, I did this or I built this or, kind of modding it your own way.
Yep. Now I got to figure out how soon I can get an Enduro. I might have to go and steal one from Cody. I know he's got like 2 of them. Element RC. He's got 2 of them sitting around. So I'm like, hey, Cody, how about I borrow these parts from you? I'll replace them when I'm done.
Once I know what I needed.
Yeah. Yep. So that'd be cool. We'll see. I think, we're going to use pretty much all the things except for the transfer case.
Right. You don't have to keep their shocks. You have to use their rails.
Right.
And you have to use their axles, at least the rear.
Yeah.
I'm doing both. But so if somebody just wanted to get in and just wanted to literally buy the rails and the rear axle, they could and build it off of whatever.
Right.
I want to show mine kind of more looking like the real, like what it started as. And you're going to go Uber the opposite and just like go nuts with it. And then we'll see how they do.
Yeah.
And that'll be part of the fun. It's like mine, you'll still be able to say, oh, I can see it an Enduro 24 there. Yours, you'll be like, what in the...
Oh, man. I'm getting excited now.
Why not an SCX24? Because you can't do this with worm gears, guys. You cannot do this with worm gears.
Right.
I will probably end up with an SCX24 transmission in mine.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to the axles. I was just driving my Furtech monster truck, which Kevin has one now, and he's shown it. The axles are very similar to the Enduro ones, and it's way better experience to drive than an SCX24 at speed. Because when you let off the trigger, it doesn't just like flip over forward and
lock up.
Yeah. It's not like twitchy, and it's just way smoother. And so that's and it's a 3-to-1 gear ratio. It's so much freaking faster right out of the box. If you put a good, like the Enduro isn't, but if you put the same motor in an Enduro 24 that you put in an axial, it's going to go so much faster.
Right. Well, and the big thing too is if you take out that transfer case, because that reduces the transfer case is going to reduce the gearing.
Right. Well, that too. Yep.
If you take that out, then you're really good to go. So
the FureTech monster truck does 4,000 kV, but it zips on 2S. Right. It's even on 3S. It's a dog. It turns out in the SCX24. I had no idea.
So are you going to
like, that's not that fast.
That's the next question. ESC. I guess you could use.
Oh yeah. Whatever you're not going to want stock. So at that point, whatever you can work in.
Are we cutting out like an amperage cutoff, like 100 amp and a?
You're running 3S. I don't think you're going to get. Most of the ones are 30 amp.
Yeah.
Like let's say 30 amp max ESC.
How about 40? I'll hit
40
you with
amp
40
max.
because I
All
think
right.
Furitek's are 40, right?
They're
The
20 and
Lizard.
30. The Lizard Pro is 30. That does 3S.
Okay.
The Lizard is 20 and it does.
I thought one of them was 40 right
The
now.
Tegu is like 18 or something. What's the Tegu run?
I don't know. I thought that was the high one.
Maybe that is 40. Let's see. Tegu Furitek. Somebody knows.
I know.
It says Tegu 20 amp brushless.
I could have swore one of them was at 40 amps already.
Well, let's just say 40 and then we're safe.
Okay. Or maybe it's the one for the drift cars that is at 40 amp. I don't remember.
But that could be perfect for this then.
Yeah.
So we'll just say 40 amp ESC max. That was a good quick thing. I hadn't thought about ESCs. I was thinking of just running a Lizard Pro in mine or a Momentum, one of those two. But if I want 3S, I need that Lizard Pro.
Right.
How's it going, Dane Overpeck? Thanks, man, for subscribing.
Nice. All right, dude. We got to wrap this up.
We got to wrap it up. You got to get out for your kids. And anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll have all this stuff for you very soon. We'll type it up. Make sure that I'll send it to you. Make sure you're good with it.
Yep.
Before we post it. And we'll go from there. So hopefully tomorrow or the day after, we'll have rules and all that posted, and you guys can start working on your builds as well. And then we'll figure out where to post them all. Awesome. So yeah, make sure you guys go sub RC Amigo as well. It's down in the description of this video. And
thanks a lot, man. Take it easy, guys. Adios.